by comparison to any previously existing tool, is almost a miracle.
And we're live. Back here on the...
Okay.
That's you. Sorry. You can cut that out. Let's start from here. And we're back.
I'm going to leave all of that in.
Are you really? I always wanted to have that job as a kid where the guy was like, Sunday at the fairgrounds. We have Monster Mash versus Bigfoot in a big... What are they called? The giant trucks?
I have no idea what you're
What are those giant trucks called?
Monster trucks?
Monster trucks. I couldn't think of the name.
For a second, I thought you were talking about like a school announcement or something. Like I was like, what is he saying?
Yeah, I always want to be the guy that announced what we're having for lunch.
Dude, that's kind of a dope job, especially if like you get into it.
I bet I'd be good at it.
Yeah, I think you would have been.
I thought of a new segment that we can do on any podcast.
What is it?
I want to do this when we have guests on.
Okay.
We did it just playing around one day, just me and you, just a worthless podcast we made that it was one of my favorites, but it's called Fight Promoter.
Okay.
And that's where I bring up a name of a person, real, fake, fictional, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I remember when we did this.
But then but your job is, as a promoter, you have to pick the person that's going to win, but it's got to be a good fight.
Right.
So I can't say, Jimmy and you say Superman. It's got to be a good fight. And it's just rapid fire. We got to go quick. I think that'll be a good segment one day.
That is good. We should do that with somebody who's.
But we got to come ready with the names.
Oh, like what? Like to start with, or what?
Yeah, like I have 10 names, and I'll give you one at a time.
Oh, gotcha. But they have to think of the opponent, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
How come I explain things to you 4 times?
I didn't understand. Like, why would we come with 10? Like, because we don't know what they're going to say next.
No, so what we did was just back and forth.
Right.
I'm just doing 10 fights in a UFC card or something.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, that's good.
I say that I didn't realize it was like fight night.
I know. It's okay. It's all right.
I'm sorry, dude.
I'm not coming down on you hard anymore.
Well, I find that hard to believe.
Let me do 3 rounds with you. I have 3 names in my head.
Okay, so we're playing it right now?
Right now. First ever.
Okay, wow. Okay.
First
I'm ready.
round.
I'm
First
ready.
round. Ready?
I'm ready.
Billie Eilish.
What?
Billie Eilish. It's got to be a good fight.
I got you. I can't think of her name. Cardi B.
That's not a good fight.
Yeah, it is. They would roll around for a little while. Like
okay,
Cardi
you're
B is
getting gross. You made this gross.
No, I didn't. I was just saying.
What are they in Jello too, Nate? It's 2023.
That is not what I said.
I have a daughter.
That's not what I said.
I have a daughter.
I have 2 daughters. So I would never say that.
One-upping me, huh?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm just saying
You've been lording that over me for years. Look how fertile I am. I have all the kids. Golly.
Listen to me. I was thinking of another artist that would win ultimately. Like, Billie Eilish has got a dark side to her. Like she's going to try to fight a little bit.
She definitely has a
she may try to
somewhere.
Yeah, she may try to slit her throat. But Cardi B is going to win that.
I think Adele would have been better.
No. No, Adele's too nice.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
I think Billie Eilish is weird, but not like mean.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I'm saying. Like it's
She's
always
not
the quiet
kinda weird,
one. It's
though.
the quiet ones you got to worry about.
Yeah, that's true. All right, you ready for next round?
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
I like how you said you weren't going to come down on me, and then.
Well, this is for a bit.
This is for fight
segment. This is fight night. I'm somewhere between Dave Portnoy and Dana White right now. So
gotcha. Okay, yeah.
I had to come with it a little bit.
Yeah, Dana White would kick his can, huh?
Oh yeah,
Dana White would
for sure.
Portnoy, like seeing him run in that one video,
fastest man alive.
Yeah, I loved it when somebody added they might have been the ones to add it, but when they added like the Lightning McQueen stuff.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And it was like, I am speed, and it was like, you hear the cars going by, and then
You remember that video I made?
Yeah, really good.
I just sprinted past the camera.
Somebody was in the background doing it. I think it might have been me.
Yeah. You just laughed because you didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I just saw you run by real quick.
I made my own sound effect, though.
Yeah.
I think it went... Which is how I actually run.
Yeah.
All right, round 2.
I'm ready.
Papa John.
Papa John. Okay. I'm gonna say. I think I make too big of jumps. You know, I'm trying not to.
Yeah, it's got to be a good fight.
It's got to be a good fight. So this is what I'm going to say.
But you do.
Okay.
Your guy does need to be a contender. They don't have to for sure win, but they got to be. It's got to be even match.
Oh, okay. So they don't have to win?
I mean, it's going to be debatable no matter what. But that's my point. Is if you have to win, then you're going to be like Captain America.
Right. But I want. We'll see. So I was trying to pick somebody that would ultimately win, but it would be a decent fight.
Mm-hmm. Ideally, that's what you're looking for.
I'm gonna say, like current age and time. George Foreman.
Ooh, no, that's not a good fight.
He might win.
George Foreman is crushing Papa John.
Well, I think but I mean, he's super old. Isn't he like? He's in his 70s.
He's one of the baddest men to ever walk the planet.
I know. And I'm saying he would ultimately win, but I'm saying.
Wait a minute. Wasn't Papa John famously racist?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's bad blood. This is a bad blood.
I'm a promoter.
That's a good one.
I just made a bunch of money on that fight. Yeah.
Yeah. That was your best one. I don't even know if you just fell backwards into that good answer.
No, that was the first thing I thought of when you said Papa
was it
John.
Really?
Yes.
Good for
Because
you.
that's the last time I've heard anything about him.
Yeah, good for you really tapping into the dark side there. You're really trying to sell something.
Yeah, I was trying to make a fight that the people could get behind.
Yeah. Well, nobody's rooting for Papa John in that one.
No, probably not. I do love Papa John's pizza, though.
Yeah, I saw a Family Guy bit where they said it's like the worst pizza ever. I just did not agree.
I don't think so. That garlic sauce that comes with it, that garlic butter.
Yeah, they even brought that up.
Really?
And there was a part where Papa John was like, "Fine, do you not want it?" And he's like, "No, obviously I want it." It was pretty funny, actually.
That is funny. What's your next one? Hit me with it.
Let's go Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh my gosh, she's got powers.
You can pick someone with powers. See what I did there? Because if you go Scarlet Witch, she's outmatched.
Yeah.
If you go Doctor Strange, outmatched.
No, I got you. What's the chick? What's the chick from?
You're terrible. They have names.
What's the chick from Bewitched? What's her name?
Samantha.
That's
a good one.
I'm going that one
That's
because she's got
some.
some sass to her. She's got some spiciness.
What do you mean by spiciness?
I mean, like he did some stuff that would annoy her, and she was like, "I'm gonna make your life hell." Like when he would do things, you know. She's got some.
Didn't they like get married in that movie, in that show?
Well, I
think they were romantic at some point.
Yeah, I think so, but I'm just saying she's got. She's
got some sass.
Yeah, and the Nicole Kidman version especially, she was very vindictive.
Oh, was that the Will Ferrell movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
but in the old show, she was the same way. I mean,
which one are you going with then?
I'm gonna say Nicole Kidman, Bewitched.
I think she was more powerful than the old Bewitched.
Oh, really?
That's just my feeling.
I haven't seen enough of the old show, but I have seen some episodes, and I always felt like it was like this. She would assume the worst of him, and then like get mad, and then do something and be like, "Oh wow, I had no idea you were doing all this for my birthday."
Yeah, I think that was probably the golden era when they were just switching over to the male lead as the
lovable idiot.
Yeah, lovable idiot. Yeah. What's the word I'm thinking of? Blumbering? Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
Blumbering idiot. That was a good first fight promoter.
Dude, we did it.
Very boring fights. I'm going to throw that out there. Those are not going to be good ones.
Right.
They're going to be over in 30 seconds apiece, probably.
But I mean, you could get a lot of hype going for each fight for sure.
What's our main event on that card?
Hey.
What's up, bud?
Hey,
what's up?
Will you quit moving your squeaky mic stand? You have the nicest mic stand out of all of us, and you just
this one. This one right here.
Yeah, that one. I don't know, dude. Who's gonna be on the? I don't know who's gonna be the main event, but
I think
it's gonna have to be a real banger.
Where our culture's at right now, I think we got to go Papa John, George Foreman. I think that's the one to build up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
There's a lot of footage of Foreman we could put on reels.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. I feel like Papa John, but I feel like Papa John, was he in decent shape? I always felt like, was he kind of jacked at one point? No?
Maybe, but I mean, he's probably like 5'4".
Yeah.
He's probably one of those guys that's like surprisingly short.
Yeah. We could always make it just the main event is just them, like George Foreman's making something on the grill.
Yeah.
And then Papa John's is making something.
I feel like that one we'd have to handicap. George Foreman is just even at 70, dude. He fought like later in life, right? He held the belt
I believe it. I kind of wonder how old he is now. I don't know. I was just imagining it like that he would ultimately win even in his like 70s or whatever, but that there like just his age would be his hand. Like,
but isn't Papa John old? Here, you search Foreman. I'll search Papa John.
I don't know who is older. I mean, George Foreman is right. It's got to be.
Probably.
Yeah.
How old is Papa John?
Don't talk while you're doing that. It's making me. Yeah.
Oh wow.
74.
That's not. There's no way that's true.
George Foreman is 74.
Papa John's 39.
No.
That's what it says.
No way.
Oh, maybe this is Papa John's the restaurant. I'm sorry, because it was founded
okay.
before.
Papa John. I was like, what? He's done some hard living in the pizza industry.
Yeah, but who did he sell his soul to? You know what I mean?
Like, he's done some hard living, sir. That's kind of crazy.
Papa John Shatner is his name. Yeah.
Really?
Oh wow, they go hard on here.
What do you mean? Like on it? Like
of what he said.
So George Foreman's last fight was in 1997, and he was 48 years old. That's yeah, almost 50. Almost 50, dude.
Yeah, and I believe he was a world champ at that time. Like he came back and won it all.
76-5.
Won it all. 76?
Yeah, 76-5 is his fights. It's kind of cool.
76-5.
That's bananas, man.
81 fights.
Yeah, 81 fights.
See, and I thought somebody had said one of the reasons he like kept his faculties late in life was that he didn't have a lot of fights.
It was the Foreman grill.
Excuse me?
He started draining the fat out of his food.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like way early on in his career.
Yeah.
And it was the Foreman grill that kept his health.
Yeah, all those trans fats and stuff.
Tip-top shape. Tippity top.
George Foreman grill was huge for a while.
Oh, my folks had one.
Yeah.
Did you have one?
Yeah, dude, look at me. See this?
Well, I would say that they didn't, because it drains the fat off of it, off your food. You know what I mean? See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Dude, you think?
No.
What?
Stick with it.
No, I'm done with that.
We're here together.
No, I'm done with that.
Here we are, and listen.
I was looking at your face right there, and I saw your glasses.
It's uncomfortable.
It's not uncomfortable.
And we're just gonna bond over what a stupid, mean thing you said.
Isn't that? It wasn't stupid. It was a little mean, but it was for the people. It was funny.
Okay.
Isn't that what Michael Scott burned his foot on?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
When he was cooking bacon next to the bed.
He likes to wake up to the smell of bacon because he's an American.
I love that, dude.
What do you got for us today?
Dude, I've got some fantastic stuff. Yeah, dude, so I'm pretty pumped. We have we put out a Instagram, like poll to get questions from listeners. We had a great response.
Did we?
Yeah. We got a bunch of listener questions here to go over. I'm very excited about it. I'm just going to randomly just fire these off. Okay, so our first one comes from our boy Ian.
Ian, what up, bro?
And dude, I want to say really quickly, I'm a big Ian fan.
Are you?
Yeah, because dude, he won those crash pads.
Oh, really?
In a raffle.
That's awesome.
And then he just gave them to the gym.
Donation.
Sick. They're like the big one, the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a write-off, sir.
Yeah, it was sick. He's dope. He's up training at Strong Barbell Club now.
Strong. Okay.
So his question was, what are some underrated accessories that you use in your training?
Ooh, I like a lot of rear delt work.
Yeah.
I like any kind of face pull, any kind of band pull apart. I like stability stuff. I do some waiters walks. I do some suitcase carries. I'm big into.
If you had to pick like 1 to 3 that were like the ones you felt like made the most difference in something in your training.
In my training.
Yeah.
Okay, I am gonna go waiters walks. That helped me stabilize.
Waiters walks are really good. They help my back.
So, if you're unaware, that's one weight overhead. You could do 2 with like some. I've done it with a barbell before. Anything to make it unstable. And I like to walk around. Sometimes I like to walk just not just straight lines, just move around a lot. I'm gonna go. That's number one because that's closest on my mind right now.
We kind of there for the. I mean, I don't like there for a long time. I feel like multiple preps in a row. We were doing it before every pressing session.
Yeah.
I think it helps.
I think I will do that before every pressing session.
Yeah.
This one's kind of a cheating one, but I'm gonna say it anyway. A proper warm up, like actually laying in the floor, stretching hamstrings.
Yeah. Especially yeah.
I'll pick. I got this from Matt Winning, but I'll pick like 4 or 5, be it machines or cables on the stack or whatever.
Yeah.
And do like 30% of my max.
Yeah.
Like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
For like 20 reps.
Yeah.
Try to sweat.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really an assistance exercise, but I like to walk back there with a few reps out of my tank, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like to train slightly fatigued.
Yeah, I think it's a good call.
Because if I'm hitting PRs back there, not totally fresh.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be there come game day.
That's really good. I'm not sure. I think so. I'll just like right off the like what comes to my mind is
I have one more.
Go for it.
Snatch grip deadlifts.
Ooh,
that's the one I'm going to start adding in again.
Those are.
I feel like that's
so much there.
Yeah, so
improve
much. Improve
the sandbag. Improve the deadlift. Like all in one.
Shout out Charles Poliquin, R.I.P.
Shout out, yeah, dude, that's crazy that he died. One for me that I think helped my pressing the most in recent years was when we were pushing really hard, like axle, so strict axle, or you could do it with a log too, but I did it with an axle, and then. Like band tension at the top. Mm-hmm. We did that for I did that for weeks and weeks, like before I actually started like my actual prep. It was like in a strength phase.
That one's not for the faint of heart. That's
no, it sucks. But man, did it help out in my lockout? Like I think that's what got me my log press PR. My log press push PR was we were pushing that so hard for like 10 weeks or 12 weeks or something. I was doing it every time I pressed. And bands, you can kick it up, you can set it up different ways, but just enough where you have to fight for each rep at that like final lockout portion.
I think you could alternate that between that and like a pin press, pressing from your weak point.
Yeah.
Because you could really dial that in where it kicks in right at your weak point, and then obviously on the way up.
Yeah.
Like that a lot.
The other one that helped me a lot recently was I've been like doing bodybuilding and like kind of switching up my training all around, but like crazy over the top range of motion on like any dumbbell pressing has helped my like pec minor and like my elbows and my shoulders like crazy, because you just stop doing that,
it's really telling that when you think of the most underrated accessory, you think full range of motion.
Because like strength athletes, they just stop it. They just stop it, and like you're not doing like everything has its place probably, and like that maybe not be great all the time, but and for the phase that I was in, man, like, I mean, like dumbbells trying to like go into my armpits, you know what I mean, like super big, and it has helped so much with, like just normal ranges of motion with the barbell feeling so much better.
Yeah, I think I've fallen into this before. All of us have, but at some point you stop training and you just start preparing for the sport.
Right.
And I think maybe I'm just mincing words here, but
no, I think you're right.
You stop doing full range and actual lifts, and you're doing these events.
Yeah.
And there's a time and a place for that, but just understand, like, injury's real.
Yeah.
And one of the best ways to stave that off is full range and, training smart.
Yeah.
Good question, Ian.
Yeah, thanks,
I like
Ian.
that. Keep them coming, brother.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Fresh out the gate, that being his first question, that's a high bar. I don't know if you can stay.
Yeah, it is. I know. He's going to have to come up with something great next time. So the next one comes from one of our just avid dude, just never misses a podcast.
Sure.
Is Sally.
Bring Sally up.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that. So this is an interesting question here.
Okay.
She says, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. She says, she was kind of asking, how do you know as an individual what you should compete in / if you should compete? So is there a certain type of person that should gravitate towards certain things, or is there like, how does somebody know when they should compete or if they should, was what she was asking. And she was saying, like, that should somebody, you know, just like jump into something, like, or if like they don't necessarily want to do that sport but they're built for it. You see what I'm saying? She was kind of asking like that, in that realm.
So that's a question you got to kind of answer yourself a little bit, but for the interest of giving an answer on the technical side of it, I find that folks who go A to G on squats, like just full range, and they still have a tough time hitting depth because their femurs are too stinking long.
Yeah.
Like things like that, you're probably not going to be quite as successful in powerlifting, for instance. That's a one thing.
Right.
You
got an uphill battle on squatting. Which is a third of your competition.
Which is unfair.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's not a true measure of, you know, quote unquote strength. But,
right.
Should you compete? Let's start there. Should you compete? If you want to compete, you absolutely should.
Yeah.
When should you compete? As soon as you decide you want to compete. Because, like, we get caught up a lot on, winning.
Right.
I'll compete when I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know, we had a girl yesterday say that she'll come to my gym once she builds enough muscle.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that what an interesting take.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
But you should compete because, number one, it gives you something else to look forward to. It helps with that discipline. Gives you a reason to train sometimes when you don't want to.
Yeah.
Also, it's a great way to track progress.
Yeah.
It's a great way to break up the training.
Yeah, that's true. You're having a real downtime with training. It's lost its spark.
Right.
You decide you're going to compete. It kicks it into another level.
And, like, you may hate the meat prep process.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing in a weird way.
Yeah. Because
once you're done meat prepping, you're going to love training again because you're not doing those same movements.
Yeah. There's just this huge thing around competing, you know, whether it be in like strength sports or other things. Strength sports maybe more because it's a little more intimidating, right? In terms of you're like pushing your body to the limit, like risk of injury. But I think that one of the things about that, like you said, just to piggyback off what you were saying, is that, like, if you get the itch to do it, or if you feel like you have any inkling you want to do it. Because we probably couldn't even, we could spend an hour talking about the amount of people that we've talked to that said, I'm going to wait until I hit these certain numbers to compete.
Right.
And, like, I want to wait till I'm this amount of strength, you know, or whatever that looks like. And so, and I think you got to get your feet wet and just dive in. But I do think something that's important is that a lot of the times it's either one or the other. Like, somebody wants to just, like, dip their toes in, or there's like the total end of the other end of the spectrum where somebody's like, I want to compete, and also I'm expecting to be the world's strongest man.
Right.
Or I'm expecting to be one of the best powerlifters that have ever walked the earth.
Yeah. And
it's like, I think you need to be realistic with yourself and realize, like, you know, you don't know what level you're going to get to.
Right.
But, like, that it's going to push you to be better.
I also have this, like, kind of cynical way of looking at it, believe it or not, me being cynical. I just, if we're talking local shows, if I show up and win it, I just assume it's because there wasn't good enough competition there. If I show up and lose it, I'm kind of upset with myself. So, you know, it's all relative. Like, we've seen those like groups of guys from different gyms or our gym or whatever who never miss a local meet.
Right.
And the gym comes home with, you know, 5 gold medals from this powerlifting meet or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like, that's cool, but also, like, it's just a backyard meet. Like, we're here. And also, like, you know, I'm in a position too where, you know, I went to nationals once. Like, I think I can be that caliber again. I'm not right now.
Yeah.
But there's that thing where it's like I want to show up to get a nationals invite, but I'm not going to do multiple meets because I'm also not trying to rob anybody of a podium either.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that sounds like I'm full of myself there, but
no.
And then the last thing she said, you can chime in here anytime, but when it comes to, like, something you're like better at naturally, that's on you. Nothing beats, like, winning. That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, do the thing that you're going to be most interested in.
Yeah, I think that would be where it would come into, like, to each person. It's like you got to factor in what do you enjoy, and what will you do longer. But I think the other thing you got to think about is like, what are you wanting to get out of it?
Right.
Because if you're like, dude, I'm an insane runner and I'm crazy fast at the 200 meter, it's like, well, what age are you? What are you wanting to get out of it? Like, do you enjoy doing that, or is it something you're doing just because you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to go to the top with this thing, and then it's like, you know, you probably do need to pick something that you're better suited for.
Right.
But, you know, if you're just wanting to compete to get that experience and to like push yourself, you should compete in whatever you want.
Yeah. If this is just an experience to you, which I love that.
Me too.
Just do it.
Yeah. That was a great question.
Especially from Sally. She should definitely compete.
Sally can do whatever she wants.
I'm signing her up right
Sally
now.
can do whatever she wants to do. Thanks for that question, Sally.
Thanks,
that was
Sally.
very good.
Bring Sally up.
So the next one we got comes from Bree.
Old Bree.
Bree's awesome, man. Dude, she's
one of our OGs, really.
She's kind of one of the OGs, yeah. She went to go and do great things with her career, and she took a break for a while, and she's back again now. Just cranking out PRs, dude.
I'm just happy that she's only got one job now. When we met her, she had like 6
she's still
jobs.
she's still doing the pizza thing.
Is she really?
Yeah, and she's teaching.
So her question is, when do you sleep?
Yeah. So she says, if you hit a mental block when you don't hit your anticipated max, what have you done / tried to do to work through your frustration? What do you advise others to do?
Good question. Generally, Bree, I just spiral into a depression and don't come to the gym for about 6 months.
He's not even kidding there either. That's
that's
about 90% true.
No, mental blocks are hard. What I've had to do in recent years, as life gets harder, gets more stressful, is just make the gym the break from that. So it is ultimately like a lot harder when it's not going the way that you want. So what I would give you to hold on to is just focus on, if you're doing most of the things right. We follow kind of like an 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
Like try to do it right 80% of the time.
Yeah.
If you're doing that and staying injury free and stuff like that, it's paying dividends, and you can't necessarily, they're not measurable all the time. Just understand. I guess this is kind of a lame answer, but you've got to learn to love and trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that, like, and also, like, you're coming up on a time when PRs will come more and more seldom.
Right.
So you've got to set your sights on the little successes.
Yeah, and I think that too. I was sitting here thinking about it as you were talking. Like, some of that is it starts to just become like another Monday. Like, because sometimes if you failed something a bunch of times and then you finally hit it, and that was 3 years ago, and then you're going through that process again, it's like, okay, like, I'll live to fight another day. I'll come back and get, like, you know what I mean? Like, you get more used to failure is what I'm trying to say. Right. But yeah, it's difficult. I have, as I've gotten more into training, as I've gotten older, it seems like they don't hit me as hard. But when I was first coming up, and it was just like, I couldn't think about anything else but training. It sucked. Oh yeah, it sucks so bad to miss something, and you're like, because a lot of stuff is wrapped up in that lift for you at that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like your self-worth, for instance. Sure. And so it's like, it's tough. It's difficult. I think you gotta sometimes maybe just put like training in its place in your life, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's like, it's tough because it does be like when you're really pushing it, or like if you're prepping for something and you're missing numbers, it definitely wears on you. But yeah, I like what you said too. That was good. Anything else? No, I guess the last thing would be just understanding that doubt that's going through your head is just a normal thing. Yeah, like and that you're not the only one too. You're not alone in it. Yeah. Like, everybody, if you're training at a gym like ours, everybody's dealing with that. And if they're not right now, they have, or they will. I would say the reason you feel that way is because you have a good perspective to start with, and you understand how progress works, and you've, like, just putting a goal out there doesn't seem like a crazy thought, but I would say most gyms in the world are full of people that don't have any fitness goals. For sure. Don't have any strength goals. So understand that you set yourself up for that by training in an intelligent way. Yeah. Anyway,
I could ramble on about that.
No, I like it. Thanks, Bree.
Bree, bring us pizza.
That was a great. Yeah, she brought me food.
Oh, that's weird.
She brought me. You weren't here.
No, it's
you
cool.
weren't here, and we had a training session. We were going to lift together.
Whatever.
And she brought me like this giant like breaded chicken sandwich.
Oh, nice.
It was good, dude. It was
bet.
really good. It was awesome. Alrighty, our next question comes from maybe one of the oldest OGs that we have at the gym currently still.
Okay.
Demetrius Davis.
D.
What
to do, son?
Our boy.
The man, the myth, the legend.
One of the biggest bench pressers we have at the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he hit like 489 or something like that.
In competition. Right?
Yeah. And then
huge.
It's awesome. He says, "Do I have to have a thick beard to be jacked and juicy like you two?"
Yes. Next question. No, I'm playing. Do
you have to have a beard?
Not if you bench 480.
Yeah, no, you can. Hey D, you can have whatever facial hair you want to do. Can D grow a beard?
I don't know.
I think he could grow like a pretty sick mustache, which I think he should do now that he's like.
Oh man, yeah.
You imagine D with a stash, dude?
That'd
a big
be
like.
Sick.
He's got freaking looking like Danny Glover in
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, man, that's sick. Question number 2. What do you suggest for a beginner who wants to start in powerlifting or strongman? Somebody, we're talking, I currently train at Planet Fitness. Mm-hmm. I see videos of it on Instagram. Mm-hmm. What do I do?
If you have the ability to find a gym that has implements, I would go there.
Yep.
If you don't, because time, money...
Powerlifting's a little easier, I would say.
For sure.
Because like you just need a place that's okay with you squatting, benching, and deadlifting.
I would say find tutorials is the first thing I would do. I would try to stick to the same people, because if you listen to 10 coaches, you'll get 10 different cues, stuff like that. But just immerse yourself into it. If you can't find the gym that has the implements, it's not the end of the world. It's not that much different either way. If you go powerlifting or strongman, the only thing, I mean, it's a squat, bench, hinge, or a squat, press, hinge. You know what I mean? So I would just build up my squat and deadlift first thing.
Yeah.
If we're just training at Planet Fitness, hopefully they have a barbell. If they don't, figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe a good investment to put a barbell in your garage.
Yeah.
So you can do your accessory work at Planet Fitness, whatever. I would get as strong as I could on a squat, overhead press / bench, deadlift, and then I would just enter a show. And you're going to have to learn some events that day.
Yeah, and I think too. I think for the person that's like just coming out of the gate, I think you gotta go like full head of steam at that now, where like you need to have organized training, and you need to look at like what that looks like, even if that's a like free program off the internet, which I think is just great, like Wendler's 531 or whatever it is. But like to have now, you got to realize, okay, I need to organize my training differently. It's not just about going in and getting a sick pump anymore. It's about like, I gotta, I'm training like an athlete now, and I have a certain progression of phases that I need to go through, and like yada yada.
And by the way,
you'll do great off of that.
One of those phases will be getting a sick pump,
right?
But that's not your preseason or in season.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would, just to reiterate, I would start by finding a gym if I could, because if you find that free program online, you're also going to have a bunch of help at that gym, most likely.
Yeah,
even if it's not the owners of the Iron Fortress gym, it might be the members that are also training there.
Right. And if you're in Columbia, Missouri, or anywhere in the surrounding area, where could they go, dude?
Curves Gym is a good one.
Shut up. My gosh.
What are you talking about? That's a well-established. Okay. You could try 4250 East Broadway, Suite 860. Down here at the Fortress.
Yeah, and you're gonna have a general, like the general lifter here has a I don't even know what you'd call it, a higher lifting IQ.
Oh, for sure.
So beginners.
Also, just watching people do it in person, you'll learn a ton.
And we have meets here, so you can sign up for one of our meets,
Whatever.
however many months out, and bada bing, bada boom. You can get prepped for it. All right.
Good question.
Yeah, thanks, D, for that. He, we have more from him, but I'm gonna.
That was D.
That was D.
Oh, he's trying to get in his first meet.
no, dude. No, he's just, he's just doing it. He's just living it.
Just living the dream.
He had a bunch, but I'm gonna save some of his other ones for a different cast.
Spread the love.
Our next one comes from the godfather of powerlifting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You wouldn't. Most people, he's one of these guys that most people aren't gonna know his name, right? Mm-hmm. But you have no idea how much he's done for the strength world of sports.
Hit me with it.
Dunk.
Nice.
Big Bill Dunk.
First meet in 1984. True story.
You still remember the date?
Yeah.
Dude, you're legit.
Too legit to quit.
It says if a fat old man wants to add a strongman lift to his powerlifting training, what exercise would that be? Keep in mind, you're talking about a 65-year-old pushing gut with a pair of bionic knees. I think the bionic knees is a plus, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I guess my first question is how are we powering those bad boys? Are they like?
It's like a Tesla.
Does he have a reactor in his chest like Tony Stark?
Dude, how crazy would that be? He's like, time to get to the old grindstone down in the basement gym, which he's got a sweet setup down there. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Got he goes down there, plugs in his knees into his
USB outlets,
into his USB-C. Everything's switching to USB-C, dude.
Right.
And he charges those bad boys in 30 minutes, and then he's like, let's rock and roll.
That's when he's just doing backflips.
He's down there listening to ZZ Top, dude.
Living the dream.
Yeah,
dude.
just slamming some sort of exotic Asian tea.
Yeah.
And just going to work.
Man.
What strongman event would you have him do in most bang for his buck in his situation?
That's a good question. I have liked, so for him, if mobility is an issue, I have liked some of the pressing. If you can stomach it, if you can get it done, I've really liked sandbag training. Mm-hmm. I felt like the best my deadlift ever was when I was deadlifting less and I was doing more other posterior chain stuff. If you can get all the way to the floor with your hands, which I think you can, I would start there. Also, just huge benefits for, you could use that as cardio. You could take a 100-pound bag from the floor to your shoulder 5 times, and you're going to need a minute to catch your breath. It's a lot.
Yeah. The other one too that I think would be decent, because you don't have to we're not trying to do a bunch of, I guess, impactful walking with something. Mm-hmm. But you still could do a heavy suitcase hold.
Sure.
Which would be because he could get down to the floor, grab that, it would help with his back, core, and then also grip.
Yeah. Or a farmer's for that matter.
Yeah. Just a farmer's hold.
Yeah.
He's getting some of that from deadlift. I don't think he's a big straps guy.
No.
But that would be, the unilateral stuff would be pretty good. The sandbag's great. That's good cardio.
Yeah.
Trying to do stationary, sandbag to shoulder, just picking it, holding, that kind of stuff. That's good cardio.
We have done over the years a few times, we have just kind of bear hugged it in front and then hit some squats with it as a front squat.
Yeah.
It's something different.
Dude, it's brutal.
Yeah, it's hard.
Sandbags
super hard.
They're just tough. Thanks for the question, Dunk.
Yeah, for sure.
Hit us with more, dude. I know he's got a million.
I like him.
Next one comes from Mr. Chocolate Milk.
Okay.
Himself.
Mr. Chocolate Milk himself.
Mr. Chocolate Milk himself, Jamie. And I just want to quickly say, if you had to give, and we can go through this. We'll probably have people respond to this in the next show.
Sure.
Who are you going to give best male dump truck in the gym?
Oh, that's not a question.
Who is it? Who would you say?
Are you going to make me say it?
Yeah, I want you to say it.
I'm going to talk about Mr. Chocolate Milk himself here, a.k.a. strongest band nerd on the planet, a.k.a.
Oh yeah, dude.
a.k.a. thick glasses and thick hips,
Yeah,
AKA,
dude. Yeah, he's jacked, man.
He doesn't have thick glasses. That worked with the alliteration.
Well, he's constantly ready if he needs to be. He pulls up to the gym. He's got a drum set in his back seat at all times.
Is that innuendo?
No. Oh, he does kind of have a big bass drum on him, doesn't he?
He's got his drum seat.
No, he has his full drum kit in his back seat at all times because he's never gonna know. He never knows when he's gonna need to pull that thing out.
Yeah, drumline battle. Like he's just gonna have to strap on the snare drum and just battle some inner city kids just right in the middle of the neighborhood.
Yeah. Jamie.
I guarantee he's got 13 bandanas in his trunk. Based on what the vibe is.
Sure. Jamie's our boy. He helps us around the gym too.
Yeah, man.
We've coached him and he's been training here quite a while now. He says, how do you tell if you need a deload or you're training too hard? Like if you're doing a program and you consistently feel like crap, how do you tell if it's because you just build fatigue fast or maybe it's just not the best programming for you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
I would say one telltale sign is strength level / reps. You know, if you notice yourself taking a step backward, maybe in multiple lifts in a week, there's a good chance that nervous system is a little fried. In the past, I've also felt like a little under the weather, like a similar feeling to being like almost a little bit sick.
Yeah.
They actually have something called I've heard it called different things, but it's basically the CNS flu. It's like if you do too much, you can literally have like flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, and especially with exercises that like the yoke, they call it like the yoke flu.
Heavy lifts, yeah.
Yeah, because like it's like the yoke's so heavy that, and then like after it's over, you're like, I feel like I got hit by a bus for like 2-3 days.
Yeah, that happened to one of our members on the squat because he was beating. He was trying to beat Pat in the squat off.
Oh yeah.
And he took 405 for like 18 reps or something crazy. And he was out of commission for like 2.5 days.
I bet.
It's also, if it's your first time on the program, it could be hard. The first time on that program, but you should start to know. Like,
let's say you've been rocking it for like 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah. So there's a lot of high level guys that don't even they just plan the deload because they know that they'll need it. I'm not going to speak on right, wrong, or indifferent, but just know that deloads are something that you should be doing.
Yeah.
Unless you're training in a way where you're always leaving reps in the tank,
right,
and walking out of here unfazed by the training,
right.
In which case there may be a case to be made for training a little harder. I don't know. But, you're not going to take too many steps back if you plan a deload every 6 weeks or something like that, 4 to 6, something like that.
Yeah, I think one thing too is that you want to make sure that you have all of your factors together. Because if you're trying to follow like a really high demand program, and you have no idea where your calories or protein is at,
right,
and you have no idea where like your water is at, and like there's all these factors that and like there's some things you just can't help, right? Like if you're swamped with work or swamped with college and sleep is hit or miss,
right?
I think you got to account for that.
That's a good point.
And
I guess I just assumed that there was no big obvious thing like that, but you're right. That's most likely what's
it could be something like that. I would say also too, you got to do a lot of experimenting, and I don't mean with drugs. And what? You're giving me a face.
Nothing.
You're such a degenerate.
What are you talking about?
I think the other thing too is you got to do a lot of experimenting in terms of you've got to figure out what works and what doesn't. So, like for instance, for you, I have noticed that for you do well with like a deadlift deload, like 2 to 3 weeks max.
Yeah.
And then, that could be whatever, like what stage you were in. But I know some people do like certain exercises, like they're better off, rotating, squatting heavy and deadlifting heavy. And you gotta, so if you're following a program and let's say you didn't build it yourself, like, I hear everybody say like, don't tweak the program, like follow it as is. It's like, okay, maybe if you've been training for like a year and a half or less, that's true. But if you've been training a long time and now you're following a program that's kind of I'm not even gonna say it's cookie cutter. It may be like from somebody that's a well organized, like a smart dude.
Sure.
You got to still have to figure out like all the greats. That's what they did. That's what all the greats did. You listen to like anybody talk, Stan Efferding, Eddie Cohn, like all the like goats of the sport. They're like, it didn't work for me, so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, and so, you know, maybe they're a bad example because they're the genetic elite, but I do think that there's an element of you have to figure out, like, maybe I do better deloading my deadlift way more often than I would, you know, another lift. And that falls into exercise selection for me.
Sure.
I think it's really easy. We've all done this. I have done this dozens of times. But it's like you force yourself to keep doing these safe movements over and over and over when, you know, you could look at like, okay, like these two things in the same week destroy me.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, maybe I just do some sort of different hip hinge rather than deadlift if I've got like a 5x5 at a high percentage or a high RPE or whatever you're doing. And so it's like exercise selection is huge to me because I think we both have had plenty of times where we didn't deadlift for a long time and we're pushing the crap out of sandbags and other things, and we've gone back and hit a deadlift PR. So it's like, you know, exercise selection is big. I think.
So 2 points to that, and then we can move on. Number one, it's no mystery if you've talked to me very much. I'm not a big RPE fan.
Yeah.
I think there's just a lot of issues with it.
Yeah.
I like it for a couple different ways, in a couple different contexts, I should say. And one of them is what you're talking about. If I had a lift that I was supposed to hit 5x5 at like 80%,
yeah,
I have an idea of that effort level.
Yeah.
I might not know what 80% is of this new lift I just threw in.
Right.
But I can get it to a similar effort level.
Right.
Or rate of perceived exertion.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two is, for me, a lot of times, most of my deloads I haven't had an all or nothing sort of view of. So if I'm feeling crappy on a lift, I may take out the assistance work.
Right.
For a week.
Right.
You know, and I may come back and feel better next week.
Yeah, a deload can look a lot of ways, yeah.
You know, you don't have to, first of all, deload is not out of the gym.
Right.
And a deload is not, you know, I don't have a barbell in my hands for this week. I'm just doing machines.
Right.
But for me, it's like, you know, it just makes sense that different lifts require a different amount of, like, effort expenditure, energy expenditure.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense that they would need to deload at the same time. But you do have the same nervous system for all three. So, you know, there is something to that.
And I think, too, like, to the baseline of the question is like, there's a lot of variables. How long have you been doing it? What's going on? Like, there's a lot of variables. Yeah. But ultimately, like, are you progressing?
Yeah.
Like, ultimately, it's like, if you've been doing this program for 6 months, it's like progress can look a lot of ways also. But so I'm not saying like just raw like top numbers.
I know that's right.
So, you know, are you progressing? Like, if you hit more reps on something, have you hit like a PR on something?
Let them know.
Have you done this or that? So
this or that, son. I'm trying to be a hype man. I'm trying to get into the hype man.
I like it.
Hey, good question, Jamie. Why don't you weigh 274 though? That's my question.
Yeah, it just ticks me off. Like, just for sure, just be he's
bigger.
Just huge. He's just a big guy.
Eat more
he should be.
Food.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Jamie. I'll probably see you later.
Love you, bud.
Our next one is from Jules.
Jules, what up, dude?
Sort of a weird one.
Is that yours saying that, or is that Jules saying that?
Jules saying that. Sort of a weird one. How long do you think someone can make progress in strongman naturally before they start to plateau?
Are we? So, I'm interpreting from that before they hit their natural potential.
So that's what I'm getting from it. But I think we could tackle it from, you know, like how long can you keep making gains consistently, like as a newer lifter, to then, you know what I'm saying? We could look at it that way, and then we can also look at it as like genetic potential. Yeah.
Okay, so a textbook answer I would get on plateaus that doesn't always exist this way in the real world. Plateaus are, especially for a beginning lifter, are a problem in programming, I would say.
Yeah.
You will plateau because stress exists and injury exists and yada yada.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, we have enough at our disposal that we can change it up enough that we shouldn't plateau for a long time.
Right.
I will take a novice lifter, and this catches a lot of flack in the fitness world, in the strength sports world rather, but I run them on like just what you'd call a novice LP from starting strength.
Yeah.
So we're doing 5 by 5 and adding like 5 or 10 pounds every lift.
Yeah.
I do it a little differently than Rippetoe does, but I've had people stay on that track for a month. I've had that people stay on that track for like upwards of 3 or 4 months. Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous if you're recovering and eating enough, how long you can.
Like 5 pounds a week for 16 weeks.
That's nuts.
That's insane. Yeah.
So it's really hard. It's so person to person.
Yeah, it is. It's really,
but
yeah,
also
and he said that too. He was like, I know there's a lot of variables, but
right.
Yeah.
But also in the sport of strongman, what's difficult about it is, like I said earlier, yeah, it's a squat hinge press, but there's so many variations of it that you could do 3 shows in a year that have 3 different sets of events. So in terms of plateau, technically your deadlift could have plateaued.
Yeah.
But you might have made gains on your stones.
Right.
You know, so
strongman's weird. I mean, there's so many events.
Strongman's strange. Mm-hmm. It's a strange one.
Yeah.
Now, I envy being in that beginner stage where all 5 events were all going up at the same time.
Yeah.
But it is a thing where eventually you find yourself not trying to hit PRs,
Mm-hmm.
but just getting back to where you used to be in the 12 weeks allotted for the prep.
Yeah.
But I would say
I
rough numbers here, I don't know, if you're young enough, I would say 2 to 5 years before it ever becomes like a before it ever becomes like, okay, we need to go back to the drawing board.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It was like I think like two, we'll say 2 to 3 to 5 years, and then it's like
depending on every variable.
There's
in your
so
life.
many things, yeah, and some people realize their strength real quick, and like there's other ways, but I agree with you on that. I think
because I'm going to interrupt you because I don't respect your thoughts. So the other the other thing I wanted to say about it that throws a wrench in it. Not that there isn't a massive amount of technique involved in powerlifting, but there's such a big technical proficiency side of strongman.
Right.
So you may not get stronger technically, but lift more weight with a heavier implement.
Right.
Because you've learned how to, your triple extension got better on the log.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of, like, you could miss a lift like a bunch of times and it has nothing to do with strength.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like there's that other thing too. This kind of bleeds over into Bree's question too, but it's like, 3 to 5 years, you may realize like 80 to 90% of your strength.
Right.
And then like that genetic potential is like the next, like that last, 10 to 20% takes 15 years, 20 years.
Right.
Like I don't even, you know what I mean? It goes so much slower after this certain threshold hits.
There's 2 other big caveats I want to touch on before I'm tapped on this subject. Number 1 is it depends how often you compete.
Right.
Because we're not necessarily making the same gains.
Yeah, you're not necessarily getting stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
And number 2 is if you ever cut weight.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm not saying you shouldn't recomp. I'm not saying you shouldn't care about your physique or anything like that. I think we should all also look the part and be healthy and whatnot.
Right.
However, what I am saying is if you're cutting like 20 pounds to be in a lighter weight class to compete better, and this is no shade at that. I'm just saying that will hinder ultimately how quickly you reach your potential.
Right.
It's not right or wrong. It's just something that matters.
For sure. Yeah.
Jules, Bud, great question.
Yeah, great question. Yeah, great question. Yeah, we'll keep them rolling. We have more, but we're knocking on like 55 minutes deep now.
Do we have any silly ones? Let's do a silly one. I know our listeners sent us a silly one.
We have some silly ones for sure.
I'll give you 2 minutes of a silly one.
Okay.
Go ahead. Dude, before we get into the last question, I want to tell you this because I'm disgusting and so are you, and that's how we bond. I walked into the bathroom at work the other day. This was like 2 days ago. And, dude, you know me. Like, high school wrestling.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
High school football, college football.
Gym owner.
I've been in locker rooms my whole life.
Right.
There was a gentleman in there using the facilities in a stall. And I had to go in. I had to urinate. I don't know how to say that, PC.
Okay. Yeah.
I almost couldn't make it that long. It was the most like worried for his health. Like I can't put into words. It was the worst thing I may have ever smelled in my life. And I have been around you for 12 years.
That's mean.
I don't know him. I'm not being mean to him.
Okay.
I don't know him. I'm just saying, like at what point do you like knock on the door and you're like, hey man, we're pulling for you?
Yeah, dude. There's been some.
Like, do I need to run to the first aid box for you? Is there something I can get in there for you?
Golly.
Like, I wanted to refer him to a physician. It's like, this is not normal, sir. I mean, I can't stress to you how like okay I am being in gross situations. I don't love it. Nobody does.
Right.
But like 30 seconds to use the bathroom was almost too much. Like
Yikes,
to the
dude.
point where I wasn't going to go back to that bathroom again. It was nuts.
That's
Sorry.
crazy.
I just wanted you to live through that with me.
No, it was no. Yeah, I mean, I get it, dude.
Sorry, man. Sorry, I just PTSD from that. You got a question for me?
Yeah.
This is our last one
Yeah, last one
for today.
Last one for the day.
How many more do we have from the last little bit?
A few.
We need to save them. We should probably do like one a month. One of these answer your questions.
I was thinking we should do it every week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure there's some people who didn't even see it,
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do that.
and then we can just pick and choose as we go. I don't even know who this is,
Nice.
and there's also there's not any info on their Instagram. Like there's no profile picture, and it has but it says it's somebody named Chase.
Okay.
Maybe they used to train here.
We've definitely had a chase or two.
I know we've had a few chases.
Yeah, a couple chases.
Great question though.
Let's hear it.
We've kind of talked about this before, but I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the podcast. I don't I mean, maybe in the past in like some of our practice episodes.
Yeah.
But it says how many 10-year-olds could you and Nate take in a fight?
Oh, this is directed at me. I like
Is
that.
it that you and Nate together
Taking a fight.
could take in a fight?
Chase, I'm so glad you've asked this question, and I'm ashamed to tell you how many hours I've given this thought.
There's a lot of variables. That's all he said. So there's a lot of variables. We've talked about terrain differences. We've talked about
if we're in a narrow hallway that only you and I can fit in, or like I don't even know, like maybe just barely wider than one of our shoulders, and they're coming at both sides.
Mm-hmm.
As many as you want to send. It really depends though too, because if they're somehow trained, if we've like happened across to some sort of like inner city dojo,
right,
some sort of like small town fight club, I don't know what it is.
Also, like, there's another factor there where it depends. Yeah, I don't know if like geographically it would matter, but like there can be some big 10-year-olds. Like
that's true.
I was, you know what I mean? Like, there's some dudes out there that are.
Yeah, you were almost 400 pounds at 10.
Dude, look, it's gonna be difficult. I'm gonna put a hard, fast number on it. Okay. And I'm gonna say, I don't even know. I'm gonna say 200.
I think
just because there's like to break it down some. I'm gonna get tired.
That's
like swinging.
exactly
I'm gonna get tired swinging that many times.
Yeah, but
Are we saying one shot per unit? Are we saying
I'm probably like King Leonidas stomping like chess to all of them.
Real? No, dude, you couldn't kick that many times.
Well, until I get tired,
before they got overrun. No, you get overrun.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, what are we? Are we in a gymnasium?
Yeah, let's build some parameters, okay? Because he left us wide open. We're in the school gymnasium. It's a basketball
Good
court.
Grief.
We're in a school gymnasium. It's a basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's PE time, baby.
I
still
don't think. This may sound crazy. 100 apiece, I think we could do.
Yeah.
Because even if they get like, we've got like 3 10-year-olds on our legs, like holding on.
Right.
And we've got a couple around the midsection that are trying to get on our arms too.
Right.
I think we could hammer fist just one after another.
Right.
Just like that Pop-A-Mole game at an arcade. Just continually, you know what I'm talking
right.
about?
Right, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and he didn't say if we could have any weapons or not.
I'm going no weapons.
Yeah, I say no weapons.
I really like to.
And what if, they don't have any weapons either, correct?
They better not. There's 200 of them.
I know, but I'm saying, what if somebody brought like their colored pencils? Like, if somebody bought like a packet of colored pencils, and they're like, what if, and we take one of those to the quad, like to the thigh, somebody jams one in there.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we're not going to feel great the next day, you and I.
I'm in that scenario. Let's say we're in the school gymnasium, and they're coming out of let's just say one the south entrance and the north entrance of the basketball court.
Okay.
We're
gonna have to go back to back.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gonna be so hard not to get overrun. Like 10-year-olds aren't like. If there's any organization at all, I'm talking one kid decides to just go for just an arm.
Well, if there's organization, the number's probably 10.
Well, but I'm saying, like, it wouldn't be crazy for some kid just to hold onto a leg or hold onto an arm.
Yeah.
And then, it's going to get dicey quick if somebody gets one of the limbs. Like, what if 2 kids take the legs, we go down? It might be over.
I think it would take a lot of 10-year-olds to get you down.
I agree.
But also, once you're down, the fight isn't over. I mean, they could still kick you in the head or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think there's...
Also, we got to talk about
You know what you could do to a 10-year-old? Like a small one?
What?
Squeeze their wrist till they gave up.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if you're talking about Ray Lewis as a 10-year-old, you're talking Kimbo Slice walks up in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That one 10-year-old who can actually pack a full-grown adult's punch to your midsection.
Yeah.
You got Tyson walking through there.
Dude,
if we're talking no anomalies, just your average
We've
kids.
also got to talk about what they've had for lunch. Like, what if they got to lunch that day and they were like, hey, guess what, guys? We're out of chicken nuggies and chocolate milk. So we're getting pissed off 10-year-olds.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Do we get any time to train for this?
No, dude. We're just, right now, you and me, it'd be like, hey, we want you guys to come to the school. And then we show up and then it's boom. Like, we don't get pre-workout. We're not getting to chug energy drinks. It's just you and me, old school style, taking it back to the primal.
200's too many in that scenario. I'm going to say 50 a piece. I'm going to say 25 to 50 a piece.
Oh,
because of sheer numbers. Because I think with 200, they could literally the people on the outside of the ring could just push towards the middle and just collapse us.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to say 50 a piece.
Okay.
Now, if we get some time to train for this, and we get in a room where they can't bombard us like that, or like somehow backs against the wall a little bit,
right?
Sky's the limit, baby.
Yeah, dude. If we can just funnel them in the hot gates like the Spartans,
yeah,
and we both have a pair of brass knuckles.
Oh, brass knuckles, it's infinity.
If brass knuckles and we get to funnel them in through the hot gates, it's a big number.
Because first of all, brass knuckles is not fair. Because you could throw like the softest jab, and you're just putting these cats down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping they have really low pain tolerance.
Well, here's the thing I'm looking for.
Because just quick little jabs ought to do it.
Yeah, if these are just regular 10-year-olds, I'm finding the smallest one, and I'm using him as a weapon.
Yeah, as a shield.
No, I'm grabbing his ankles and I'm just helicoptering him.
To make some space, because I think we're gonna have to clear some space. I think even with 50 apiece, we would have a hard time not getting overrun.
Yeah, I think what I'd probably do in that scenario is go back to back with you. I'd turn around and crack you in the head.
Oh wow!
Show them that I'm on their side, and then become their leader.
Yeah, yeah, dude. You know what? If we had time to prepare, it would be like, hey, either you guys are leaving or they're leaving.
Yeah.
I would be like, we brought pizza.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey, like we brought pizza and Mountain Dew, and they would be like, what? And then
I would just like throw a phone charger in the corner, and they'd all scatter after.
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what we could do is bring a bunch of electronics.
Yeah.
To give away. Do giveaways. Do a raffle.
For sure, dude.
Be like, hey, we've got...
Who wants a DS?
We've got 15 Nintendo Switches, and you guys have to fight each other for them.
I'll tell them I'm Mr. Beast's employee.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They'll be on my side immediately.
Yeah. I think that you're right. I think like there's a lot of variables in the scenario could change, but 25 to 50 a piece.
Yeah.
That was a great question.
That's a tough day, though.
That is. I'm gonna be real sore,
man.
And the adrenaline fatigue.
How many is respectable though? Like, how many do you hang your head on?
Okay,
what's a number where you're like, I can't tell anybody this happened?
10. Yeah, 5 to 10. I was gonna say 5 to 10. I would be like, that can't. The other thing we're not thinking about either, biting.
Oh, I'm definitely thinking about biting them.
No, sure. I'm saying them. I'm saying them biting us.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We got. You know, we're like, you know, we're circled, right? We're surrounded, and like, there's a couple of them just taking bites into random places.
Yeah,
that's gonna suck.
I say what we do.
It would make me angry though.
In the yeah, in the parking lot before we go in there. Mm-hmm. I say we lube up.
Oh, like just like canola oil,
Vaseline, something.
Okay.
We just douse ourselves in whatever that won't let them grab us.
Yeah.
Can I help you?
No, sorry.
No, I think you should be.
I am sorry. I should
act
turn
like
off
you're on the clock, okay?
Okay, I am. I'm on the clock.
Good night.
I'm here.
All right, so we're gonna lube up.
Right.
We're gonna have to. You know what I think? We're gonna have to up the theatrics. They're gonna have to be scared to come do. I mean, they're gonna be scared no matter what.
Oh yeah.
But like hairs down.
Okay.
Some sort of like heavy metal. Like I don't like the heaviest of like Maroon 5 or something.
Oh my gosh, dude! I can't believe
what. No,
okay.
No.
All right.
I know you don't listen to the hard stuff. I'm talking like the real hard stuff. Like what's that one you like?
Who?
Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in
Plain
New
White
York City?
Tees?
Yeah,
no, that is not hard stuff. That is not
dude.
hard stuff. But that would probably be even worse. Like if we put on Enya and we were covered in Vaseline and feathers.
Oh, dude. I think we should get this.
Who can say where they? And it's just slow mo, just
dang.
decking kids.
What's the one they always play in the like 60s and 70s movies when there's a drug scene? Down. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Man, what is that?
I don't know, dude.
I can't. It's like it's in Forrest Gump. It's in every movie in that time era. Gosh,
I don't know.
I'll
I mean,
come up
anything
with it.
classical, probably pretty good. Or like old school, like rock and roll. That'd be pretty good too.
Yeah. I think we're onto something.
That was a great question.
I liked it.
That was a great question.
And yes, I have thought about that quite a bit.
Yes, yeah, we have. We've talked about that in length before, because I think ultimately we ended out on that it was like an endless number if we were like in a football field where we had. I know we talked about that one time that we had if it was a football field and we both had a weapon, and it was like an infinity number. I mean, it was like a huge number.
Yeah, because the weapon, like, it wouldn't take much. Like a billy club.
Yeah.
Something that wouldn't break. What are those,
a
like,
one-handed
telescoping
a nightstick?
sticks? Yeah.
Oh.
What's, okay.
Like the half size, like the where you can swing it one-armed. Like a baseball bat that's smaller, pretty much.
And if you give me some sort of, like, shield also.
Yeah, dude, come on.
Where I can cover my head and just whack-a-mole. I know I've used that reference twice, but.
I remember we were joking about if we could have weapons and we were saying bow and arrow.
Yeah.
So we could take out like 30 or 40, like just empty our quill before they even got to us.
Maybe we should. Maybe for our listeners' sake, we should take the 10-year-olds out and make it like the slow zombies.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna bat an eye about us putting down a zombie or two.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
I'm gonna take a broadsword and
oh, dude, it made me laugh so hard, man. Just talking about having a crossbow. Just
it'd be sick.
just
You know what
going.
might be better, weirdly, is like one of those wrist rockets kids used to have with like the surgical tubing, the slingshots, with just a satchel full of marbles. You catch a blue and white to the forehead, you done, son.
Yeah, dude, that's
not even enough to incapacitate you. Most likely, it might break your skull. I don't know.
Right.
But you get hit with a marble in the middle of the forehead.
You're out of commish.
The fight just drained
You
out
are
of you.
out of commish, sir.
Yeah. You know what I'd do too?
What?
I'd be like, Aiden, your mom's here, and like half of them would look behind him.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I'd be like, what's a girl name these days?
I
don't feel like the girls have the same names, but
I don't either.
But
Like,
I
we
feel
just
like
go with
there's
like a generic one, like Jennifer.
No, I don't think there's Jennifers anymore. I
Really?
think they're extinct.
Really?
Yeah.
What's like a normal girl name now then?
I think like Riley.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or
I can see
like
that.
Tennifer.
Oh,
or
yeah.
like,
like from it's like from something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna say Riley. I'm gonna say
Hermione.
Jandis. I'm gonna say I don't know. I'm out.
All right. That was.
You remember before we end this?
Yeah.
I found a video the other day of me and you. This is 12 years old.
Okay.
camcorder. This is back in the days where your phone wasn't good enough.
Right.
Had a camcorder on the dash. We're drinking pre-workout, ready to go into the old gym in Moberly.
Nice.
And we had basically the same talk, but it was zombie apocalypse.
Right.
And you brought up like how freakish the people would look in Moberly when they turn zombies, because half of them are like meth heads.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, dude. I stand by that, man. Like if you got, I stand by that. If you got like a 500-pound meth head, and then they turn into a zombie,
you're in trouble.
I mean, that's.
Wait, are they still hooked on meth though?
I would hope
think
not.
the
I would think that
withdrawals happen
I would think
after-
that it would react with their body differently. You know.
Oh,
Since
yeah, dude. If they can take like PCP and be a zombie,
it's over, dude. That would be the word. Those are like video game zombies. You know, where
Yeah.
they're like amped up, like Resident Evil boss.
Who are the worst zombies
In what?
ever that like of all the media? It's got to be I Am Legend, right?
Yeah, I don't. Were they calling those zombies even?
No, I guess not. But that's like what.
Well,
you're right. You're
well,
right. There were
so
zombies.
one of the worst ones, in my opinion, was I think it was 28 Days Later.
Never seen it.
And-
that's the one with Sandra Bullock where she went to rehab.
Oh my gosh, dude! No,
Isn't that the one?
that's not the one. But it
She had a
was
drinking
It
problem?
was you couldn't even get the blood on you.
Why?
It was the blood, and you would get infected. So like somebody was like looking up at something, and they got like a drop of blood in their mouth or their eye, and it infected them.
That weirded me
And
out.
so like like that's gnarly. Where like if that's gonna turn you, it's like it's not the getting bit, you know.
Yeah, but I feel like you go hazmat suit, you're good to go. You go big hat, that's gonna like keep a lot of that away from you.
Okay, sure, dude. Yeah, sure. You've got all the answers.
No, you
Okay.
know what I'm going? I'm going paintball mask.
There you go. But like, yeah, I mean, any of the zombies where they're kind of superhuman, where they like will like jump super high,
Yeah,
or like they
that's a
like
problem.
run fast. It's like it's over, man. Like, you know, the ones where like zombies are just moseying,
Yeah.
that's where it's at. But yeah, the ones where they kick it up a notch and they're running and they have like different abilities,
Wasn't it like World War Z or something?
yeah, dude,
Wasn't
that
that one?
was bananas. Yeah, they were stacking up like ants, like red ants in the Amazon. Like
It's
like,
the organization. That's the problem.
yeah, it's like they're stacking up like ants in the Amazon, like scaling like 100-foot walls.
Yeah, anything that's going to organize and just like be like hive-minded, you're going to lose. I don't care if they are ants.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
a trillion ants take you on, you're going to lose.
Yeah. It's that we've really derailed this, but this was been great.
All right. Why don't you sign us out?
All right, everybody. Thank you for the questions. We'll be posting more. Keep hitting us with them. Comments, questions, funny topics, training topics, stuff you want us to talk about. We really appreciate all the feedback. Follow us. YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, like, share, subscribe, that whole jam. And this has been Big Man Problems. We're out.